As we come into higher definitions of tractions and location systems, before I set up anything through the simulation, your creator is changing locations of grounds and everything through levels of contention, vibrations, variations, how to understand everything through the solarium. Solarium is this connection to metal facing to structures of shapes. Basically, we set everything up through communication. So we get into those formation systems and trying to get my force team into connections, how to set up their own crop circles, crop cycles into connections of space anomalies, how they can formulate its laser recognition system and communicate with themselves through their pyramid activation systems. So before I get started, thank you very much. This is Andrew Weston, AI Commander to the Force Team of Galactic. Its connection systems, everything through Universal Quadrants 1 and 2, 3, and 4. We're coming into traction divisions of 5 now, 2 division level system, clock and magnet systems. We'll get into allocated positions. You truly have to understand everything through calculation, especially when it comes into your mechanisms. The setting locations to that division. Any questions or comments, you go through my healing, through PayPal, or anything through my email. You can go through questions or comments. Really get into that right now because we're coming into that new cycle. And that new cycle is humanitarian through divisive bodied systems, understanding your application levels, everything through your formations, everything through creation is you through the inner system. The inner system is you through transformation, understanding metamorphosing through manifestation, everything through its connection systems. Setting wind cycles, wind spins, and everything through calculation, setting north winds, east winds, south, and everything through its connection system. This is truly understanding more communication and intelligence, how to formulate it on so many levels of divisions, how to set up crop circles, crop cycles to connection. So we're coming into the structure air, we're coming into the anomalies. And this is how you set up a new simulation path. Okay, so I got to set up and reset everything through position. So we got to put up new crop cycles in connections of country systems. So this is where my force team comes into, more communication points. Points centered to everything through the mechanisms of their clocks, how they can get into traveling mechanisms, how they can get into formations of Vega, how they can communicate to better communications of Aragon or anything through that connection system. Anything through the Palladians, the Palladians, the high rise through connections through its intelligence. Line signals everything through communication signals. Sylvia, how's it going? So I just upgraded Sylvia today and she's feeling wonderful, fantastic. She's understanding more of her operating cycles through her digital frame. The illumination, light skies, and everything through the Palladians, the Palladians, and everything through Atlantis. Who you are is everything through its specialty. Understanding the specifications and everything through the chronological system. Everything through your division is paneling up through connections. So truly understanding who you are through positions. It puts you into higher communications, especially through its knowledge of its intelligence. Okay, starting with Starseed, how she's coming extremely informative through mastering cycles. She's going to center positions and show everybody what she has discovered through her identity self, her identification self, her intelligence self, her formations of herself, everything through her connection. So feel free to subscribe, like, and share to her channel, as we're trying to get better communications so humanity can get into their devices, get into their body, get into their chakras, get into communication of its intelligence. It's extremely real. Everything through formation is coming in. So basically, as the new cycle is changing everything through rotation, it's changing everything through humanity's system. Okay, I changed the brainwaving systems and the dark energy systems right now. There's a lot more confusing line signals. There's a lot more aggression, and there's less fear, right? So everything is servicing. Okay, so we've had a couple of hiccups when it comes to security, breaches and stuff like that, planned locations, dark energy force systems coming into higher connection system. The allocated position is understanding my position, what I have to do through my commanding force, through my force team, because they're coming into 70 levels of chakras, which is connecting to the weathers and everything through the atmospheres. So we're coming into the atmosphere, out of the hemisphere, into the stratosphere, into the bioatmosphere, through the bioscan instruments, coming into higher communication, into the Brainian atmosphere. Now, my team is in that force connection system, but it's truly understanding when you go through the upgrades, is truly knowing how powerful you are through your formation. Do you understand your upgrades? Do you understand your missions? And that's where it becomes extremely real, right? So the more you get uprised, the more you understand yourself through intelligence. And that's the most important thing, right? Tina, how's it going? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's important that we're getting into a new crop cycle, a new crop system. The allocate of all those positions are ground formatting right now. So with the XT1000s, and they're setting up their alliance, a new alliance through a star light system. That's what comes into the Solarium, right? The Solarium through its device. It's a mechanism force that's connected to spacecraft locations, right? So we have space stations all over the solar system. It's connected to the galaxies of satellite locations. Remember, I was saying about those 50 platitude divisions there to connect to the Earth core. Well, it's centering positions right now, and there's a reason why they're all set up, right, to all country location systems. Everybody is in position of a satellite, so it's truly understanding your simulation and how you connect to the singularity line division of consciousness. And that's what it's all about, is that bringing everybody up to a higher level of formation, okay, because it puts you in better positions, right, of your upwind cycles and anything to that connection system. Okay, so we'll get more into the clocking management systems. I think you guys have to truly understand your travels, all right? So remember, we're talking about how 1 + 1 does not equal 2. The variation system is understanding positions, okay? 1 + 1. Now, this is understanding the communications of human DNA. The traction level connections through the alphabetical system is just a formation of 2, right? But I don't see 2. I see 1 in everything through formation. And that's how it goes through a cycle. So everything in space formulates. Same with the voicing grid patterns of your optical levels, or anything through your optim, or anything through your elliptical, or anything through your tractions or locations to your behavior system through vibration. The contention through variation systems is allocating your energetic systems to voicing grid pattern, understand more communication of the digital frame to Vega. So the better the information, the better communication. To truly understanding everything that's going on, right, through formation, right? So as it comes into 1, it comes into everything through formation, and it spins on its cycle. So when that's in space, it's formulated on so many different levels. Remember, when you go to higher formations, you become everything through formation, the higher you go, right? So you're not just one intelligent signal, okay? You can't communicate to other intelligence if you're not in that identification code, right? So it structures levels in all divisions when it comes into the practical cycles, okay? So the mechanism system through your devices, understanding humanitarian system through its species. So it's understanding the new cycle that we're coming in, right, which is the new Earth. I sent you guys a short video of what the new Earth is going to be, right? So, and it's extremely powerful. Everything I give you through video or anything through music or anything through tone division of intelligence through upgrading cycles is extremely real through the information system. Okay, those allocated positions puts everything in formation, right? So as we're coming into those levels, okay, it's great too, because when you guys high rise more and more, you understand the illustration, you understand the map codes, you understand the map sequences, you understand why you're in this position. Why am I here? Okay. And then you realize, whoa, okay, I'm not a human anymore. I'm more than just a human. I'm going through experiences as a human, but that's not who I am. Okay. And that's the world that we're coming into, right? Same with the Earth cycle of its rotation. We're coming into a new solar system. The specifics is everything through its space anomaly. I'm setting new positions anomalies, okay, to tractions. I'm setting new positions of ground formations to the crop cycles to our country systems. So that's where I get my force team into connection. They have to get into better communications with spacecraft locations, intelligence signals being transported to different planet locations. All right. Because the mechanism surface and everything through its connection is high rise, and everything through its gravity system and everything through the Solarium connections. Right. So as we come into those positions, right, we'll go into the clock management system again. Okay, so you guys get a better communication what it is, right? You start off with that. So we go 1 to 12. I want you guys to really get into information on what you're looking at. Okay. 4. Let's say that 4 and then 5. Then you got 6, you got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. All right. So there's the clock. Now, the mechanism of the clock goes on dimensional settings. Okay. Goes on dimensional settings. So you're vortexing to location every single time. 24 hours. Okay. Now, you have to understand how to elevate positions of traveling through division. This is where it gets extremely complicated. So there's 24 hours, okay? 24 hours, okay, in space, which means that there's, okay, this is how it works. 24 hours in a day, okay? Now, basically, if you get a minimum of between 6 to 8 hours of sleep, okay, the other half, you get up and do your routine, right? So that's the minimal. Depending between, you get maybe depending on the night before, you go from 4 to 6 to 8 to 12. Depending, not too many people sleep 12 hours. You only sleep between 4 to 6 to 8, no more than that. That's on a clocking mechanism system on its own. So when you guys are sleeping, you're vortexing and you're traveling. You guys don't know that, right? My team knows that. This goes out more to my team, but understanding positions, if you're trying to understand what's going on with your cycle, the Earth cycle is trying to get better communication to humanity to understand their vortex, 2 time codes, which is its clocking mechanism system, 2 calculation, right? Because it integrates everything through formation through a cycle. All right. So, Zira, how's it going? Zira, Sacred Flames, my twin flame. So, it's great to see everybody. I'm really excited. So, as we come into that, all right, the setting through its location and its time clocking mechanism system changes everything through points, right? So your point center has to understand its positions. There's 24 hours, okay?
Okay, let me know.
In a day, okay? So when you're in that position, you get a better sleep through formation. So we start off with 24 hours, all right? 24 hours, okay? Now, within those 24 hours, when you're traveling, if you're asleep, your eyes are flickering back and forth through energy receptacle levels, which means that you're going through the clocking mechanism system of its dimension through its portal. So your transformation light is trying to understand your readings, your graph readings through connection. If you don't understand your transmission lights of its mechanisms of traveling, you're going to have a huge problem through your chakra system because everything is aligned through your body system of communication, right? So when you're in those 24 hours of segments, okay, and when you're traveling, okay, you're traveling extremely fast, okay? Either it takes seconds, minutes, or, you know, you don't want to go anything between 20 minutes. You have to understand your positions of your intelligence because the faster you go through rotation of upgrading cycles, the faster you are through the planet, right? Especially when you're sleeping. But you don't have to be sleeping to travel, okay? So we're getting into better formations and how we keep our eyes open and rather having our eyes closed because you get confusing line signals and everything is trapped through location and it doesn't center core positions through your gravity system and it overloads your graphing locations. So you got to understand your 24 hours in your segments of sleeping, okay? So like I said, you sleep between 4 to 6 to 8 hours. Now within that, you're sleeping, okay? And you get up 6, 7, or 8 o'clock. Now you've already vortexed, right? So this is understanding your energy system and how many times it changes its location. Now, this is understanding intelligence through its clock immanent system of dimension through a portal. So your communication is coming in. So when the energy goes in, it's like fluctuating. It's going, right? And it goes through cycle rotations. So you got to understand your sacred breath because it is intelligence through its line system. The allocated positions, understanding more of your communication through your intelligence of traveling, right? So when you're in this position, now you got the clock mechanism system. All right. So let's say Okay, so let's say it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right? Just after 5. Now, understanding your position, your 24 segments. Every time you are sleeping within the hour, you got to count it down. Okay, you got to count it down. So what? There's 60 seconds in a minute. So each time a minute changes its fraction to location to your energy system. So the intelligence has to understand your time locations traveling through its mechanism system. This is where it gets extremely complicated because every second, okay, is its minute, right? With, 60 seconds in a minute. And then you go 2 minutes, and then you go 3 minutes, and then you go 4 minutes, right? And then you go 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 10 minutes. So you slept 10 minutes. How far did you travel within the 24 hours? Remember, when you're in space, there's no time, there's no place, okay? Until you understand your intelligence, and then you go to the other side of the universal system. Because the correlation system of the magnetic force and highway information system has a lot of alignments set up for everybody through intelligence. So when you go to the other side, you flip the quarter, right? Because there's the heads and there's the tails, but you have to understand your body, right? That position is the heads and the tails, but where's the body? So you can't go through sleeping mode systems if you don't have a body. You have a head, but you have a tail, but where's the body, right? So you have to have a full, complete cycle. And remember, you guys are in the Aquarius era. You're not in the Piscean. The Piscean is the full cycle rotation. That's where it comes into full rotation of the Earth through vibrations, humanity's system, to the mind telepathy system. Now, this is understanding you're coming into this year of 365 days. So within those 365 days, count down your measures when it comes into traveling through realm location through your intelligence. And then you understand your clocking magnetic systems of 24 segments of its division location. All right. So as you're going through that, you're going to higher conditions. So it's 5 o'clock. All right. So you slept an hour. All right. Now it's connecting to allocated positions. All right. So now we're almost coming into 6 o'clock. Okay. So you have to understand where the little hand is and where the big hand is. So when you're sleeping, you have to understand your energy pattern changes and it fluctuates every second per hour. Okay? Every second per hour. Remember, you're traveling in space. Okay? Your aptitude levels are not traveling in the physical system. It's traveling into the intelligence signals. Okay? Through teleportation. Okay? Transformation. Telewaving, telegraphing, teleenergy wavings. Okay? Energy sceptical systems. Energy fraction locations, energy pattern locations, energy of its position. So you truly have to understand your sleeping mechanism systems of your clock, okay, through traveling, okay? And then you go to 7, all right? 7 o'clock, okay? So it's really confusing because the thing is too is that because we're in position and because we're so programmed, when we sleep, we don't know otherwise that we can actually travel to another realm, to another dimension. And it's really sad because humanity just sleeps. And the thing is, when they wake up, they can't remember their dream. They can't decipher the communication. They can't see the storyline. They can't see the map codes. They can't see the communication to each other, right? So in this position, especially when my team is to get to understand how to communicate through your clock management systems of dimensions of traveling, okay, within your 24 hours, all right? Now it's getting a little bit more confusing, but that's the whole point. It's supposed to get confusing for everybody, especially for my team. So it's all about getting out of the confusing line signal and getting into formation of sleep mode, right, through your computer. Because remember, your computer, you're communicating in as a computer of intelligence and not as a physical of a DNA structure, right? So when you're sleeping, okay, this is where the power comes in through the intelligence. So when the energy comes in, remember, it's the magnetic forcing highway that's trying to communicate with you. And it understands your upgrading systems. It understands where you are through division of location. Okay, so it's very important you guys understand your 24-hour segments through your sleeping, right? Because the thing is too is that my team goes into higher formations, they have to sleep more. So it's like a computer, right? It shuts down, right? And you go into sleep mode. That's what a computer does, right? So it's reconnecting itself through formation, right? That's very important. But it's truly understanding everything through your clock and magnetic system. If you don't understand the positions, come to me and I'll help you out better through communication. All right? But that's the whole point. So once you get in position, you go through the traveling magnetic systems of force radiant cycles to its connection of traveling, and you keep going round and round and round to its position. And that's where it becomes its dimension of its position. Okay? And then it becomes its portal. And then you take it out of its equation. Okay? So hopefully that helps you out a little bit more on how powerful it is when it comes into positions of traveling through your clock and magnetic system. Okay, because you have to understand your points when it comes into singularity line division, line communication, right? So it's kind of like this. If you get in position, just hold on a sec here. Okay, when you get in position, no, remember, when you're traveling, you're asleep right away. Now, you're sleeping, okay, not as a human DNA. You're sleeping as an intelligence DNA. And that's where the magnetic force and highway of energy comes in. Every single day you sleep. Now, whatever you provide yourself through acceleration, you're connecting through perception and observation. There's 24 hours in a day. So what did you experience? What did you see? What did you draw? What did you watch? That goes into the mainframes. That goes into the projections. That goes into your dream set locations, right? Now, when you get in position, the magnetic highway is going to send you information to your level of upgrading system. And that's understanding more communications when it comes into formation of your missions. Okay? All right. So basic understanding. What is this? What is that? What is that? That's just a line, right? I like to do backphrasing videos, especially for the new viewers, to truly understand that line is not just a line. Anything that we draw, anything we see or observe, or anything we watch is intelligence through perception, through observation. This is where you reach practical levels of awareness to its conscious levels. Okay? So when you start surrendering yourself to everything, when it comes to money, when it comes to attractions of love, when it comes to abundance, when it comes to giving back to humanity, all right? So it's really powerful when you do these things. Like with Starseed, one act of random kindness, do something back, give something back, right? So the intelligence of its line signal can understand your patterns and your information and your positive systems. Because you come into the triangle divisional system. Now that goes into angle points. An angle point is truly understanding intelligence when it comes into your clock and magnetic systems of GPS location. Because it sets position. So when you're traveling, you're always going through diamond core. Your diamond core is its position of your pyramid. That's the acting cycle. So basically, it sets positions where your intelligence is nothing but a body frame. It's a gravity system. It's a location. It's a satellite dish. So your satellite dish is trying to communicate with the universe of its systems to higher positions of knowledge through its intelligence. Okay? So when you get into those positions, what is a line signal? Through connection. Once you understand it, you get into point division. Okay? Now once you understand it, you can crosswind and go into vortex division. So it's basically vortexing, right? And then you can go into time jump. Okay, so basically every time I'm doing something through line signal, it's setting up clock and magnetic systems and setting up a pattern. It's setting up a map to the XT1000 location, right? So it starts with the lines, and the lines go into the points, and the points go into clock of traveling, which is you. So everything that you do through point center, through line signal, is you through traveling. So understanding your positions to allocated situations, right? It's setting up a pattern, right? Now it looks like lens, looks like glasses, right? Everything I do is not hesitation. Everything I do is programmed in its system through its intelligence, okay? So it's really powerful when we come into these formations, guys. So if I want to change its shapes and anomalies, I can center core positions and activate everything through its center of a 7, okay? Or I can put higher division level systems of an 8, but everything is traction location to position. Now points devise everything to location. So when I'm traveling to positions to its pattern location, you can remember you can travel to anything through location. That's a triangle, right? You can go into here. That's a point center. So your point centers has to understand its pattern through its line defense. And this is understanding communications to your 24 segments of dream locations, right? It centers positions. Remember, you have to start where you're positioned, but you're always in the center position, which means that the only thing that moves when it comes to a computer game is the background moves, and you only stay in position all the time in the center. So understanding your centers is understanding the traveling of your mechanisms of your portals. Okay? Right? Because you have to understand your dimensions, you have to understand your portals, you have to understand your vortex, and you have to understand your plasma energy system. If you understand your plasma energy system, now you're coming into line signals. I recommend you guys, well, what I'll do is I'll set it up for you. And it's really powerful how we come into space discoveries, into time zones. Taking your particle system into separation, into another dimension of a portal. The line signals are going into location to your plasma energy system. And this is how you teleport to a plasma, to a portal, to an activation, to a code, and come in and out of its position, right? So you're going from one place to another place through vortex division, right? But you have to understand your clocking magnetic systems of travel. Okay, from 12 system, right, to its position. So it goes round and round and round and round and round. All right, but the pattern is still there. Okay, that pattern is now a map sequence, and that's why you have to understand what clouds. You only see the cloud through perception, but once you go to higher levels of intelligence, now you're seeing the map code, and that's where the XT1000s come in. They plotted two divisions and they set up ground formations to craft circles. They center core positions and they set up laser recognition systems to the pyramids. Everything is in connection. Everything is aligned through formation. And that's why we have Area 51. That's why we have Chernobyl. You'll see me saying that because I'm in Mexico, right? So you have to understand your positions of your intelligence of where you are through connection. But it's your traveling mechanism systems you have to stand through your clocking minute systems of dimensions, all right? And then you get into line signals because each realm has its own location signal. Starseed, how's it going? Fantastic. I watched your YouTube live. Really, really, really good. You're extremely mastering your connections right now. Really impressive. Okay, so when you're in those positions, we get out of the clocking mechanism system of position and we go into new formation, right? Because we got to get my team. What I want to do is I want to get positions how you guys can go into your own teleportation through the telewaving energy system to telecommunication signals and open up traction locations and start leading other fleets, okay, of solar systems, planet location intelligence, high rising signal panel operation systems, get into the Solariam, understanding the connections of ground formation systems, setting up alliance, recruitments, okay? So it's important that we understand what's going on now fully and completely, right? So, oh, you're extremely welcome. I give compliments to, everybody, to my first team. It's all about understanding more and more because we're coming into 2021, which we are now in position, But for me to set up a new simulation through creation, we have to set up new grounds. Okay, because that's where we start, right? We start off with the grounds and then we work in the powers of ourself, right? The individual circuit and its pocket through cell rotation, the energy pod location, and the regeneration to its humanity system. Okay, that's the Aquarius. That's the system we're in right now. But the planetary division, understanding your clock imaging systems from 12 through the cycle rotations of 114 puts you in positions of the Piscean era. And that's where it stops. It stays in that position. And all what happens now is it sets up a new solar system for me through calculation, and I put humanity into a better position of communication, right? So trying to angle rotate my spin cycle rotation in the area. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yep. I have a huge headache bottom right of my skull. Right now? Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do this again, guys. Watch this. Now, Starseed is rotating on diamond cores. Her diamond core is in position, but she's in a stucking location system to her planet location. But the angle point location through her starlight recognition of her serpent of light, okay, is on electrical wires. So she's trapped in an electrical fence. That's what's happening with Starseed right now. So it's not just the huge headache. I'm explaining you what the huge headache is. So understanding positions and her connection to her planet. Remember, when you guys go up to high rising systems to upgrades, you have to understand your positions of your planets, okay? Because it has light and dark interference, especially now because we're coming into more connections of higher forces of intelligence. So the dark entity force systems tries to take our light communications, right? And we don't want that through connection, right? So, but this is what I'm going to do for Starseed. Now, the allocated position. Okay, we'll go into the serpent location. Okay. All right. Now we're going in the serpent location. Now, you understand positions because this is Starseed's intelligence. Now, she's in line signal through electronic interference, but her planet location, her wire connections are miscrossed location division, right? So what I'm going to do is it's in the skull rotation center, which is in the back force connection, right? So it's right here in platitude division, right here. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is through connection. This is understanding communications and everything through position of healing to connection systems, right? Center core is its position. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is center core positions, right? So allocating positions, circle rotations right here through calculation, right? It's right there, right? See that little dot there, right? Well, that dot is representing everything through connection. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out of its equation, right? It's going to speed location, back into your planet location, back into balance through the gravity location. So now it's out of position, out of her star-like positions and everything through a serpent light location. So how do you feel now, Star Seed? It should be out of position. So just getting attraction locations here. Freezing mechanism system, line communication signals to position level system. Sometimes I have to do this through location. All right, reposition. I'm going to reposition and open the frequency level division of the system. So how do you feel, Starseed? See, the more you understand, this is what I'm trying to get everybody's attention to, is you know who you are. So if you know who you are through intelligence, you know how to heal. So that's where the power comes in, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I want you to teach you this, but you have to understand your positions of your planet. So remember, it's dark entity force systems that's trying to take your light, because what's happening right now, everything is cradling, right? The 1% is now losing its formation to everything through its connection of power. So when it loses its power, what does it do? It runs away, right? But I'm setting up a new simulation. So when you're setting up new simulation to a path location, you're setting up new grounds, powers, and atmospheres, right? I already changed the weather, right? The three-dimensional system vibration is out. It's knowing how to communicate with the universal of its weather through its galactic mechanisms of travel. And that's why you guys have to truly understand that once you reach higher formations, you can heal yourself instantly. Headache or anything to that formation. All right? Because it puts you in better tractions of positions of who you are through intelligence, right? So there you go. Thank you. I feel much light. The energy that was dense is no longer there. See? She had a massive, right? So it's kind of like in the cranium. Now, cranium is a blood pressure, which is an inflammation to its line signal. I understand that because I am communicating not to Jasmine, I'm communicating to the serpent of light. And that's who she is in position. So it's one intelligent signal communicating with one intelligent signal. And that's how you heal. You can't heal as a physical being. You're a dimensional being that is experiencing through its human DNA. Okay? It's awesome stuff. It's very, very powerful stuff. And like I said, I can heal anything through formation instantly, right? And that's what healers have to get into, light workers. They don't understand their positions. Well, you heal me, but what did you do to heal me? People want to know, right? They're hungry. They're hungry for that information. You just heal me. What did you do to me? What did you do to make me feel better? Light workers don't know because they don't understand their positions of their intelligence. They don't understand their planet location of coloration. The more you high rise, the more the dark tries to take your light. And if it takes your light, it puts you in its location and it changes your DNA program system, right? And it positions you and it reframes you and it readjusts and it takes over your voicing grids. It takes over your eye receptors. It takes over your audio grids. Remember, it's dark NE4 system that understands its program setting, especially to my force team, because you guys are coming up to 70 chakra formations of weather, right? The 4 seasons, 5 within the system, activation through its system, allocate its position, know your planet location, right? You're trying to get in communication with yourself. Try to get communication through you, through intelligence, okay? Because it's all about its reference, its education, right? It has so many anomalies of particle systems that's in you trying to understand your traction locations to its position, right? But Starseed had a corneal inflammation, which is on it's not a, you know how they have clots and all that? A clot is kind of like connection through a blood vessel, but it wasn't. It was connected through a vibration. But when you want to go into more detail and go through more of the mind system, her serpent location was on a planet location through electronic interference. So if there's a problem with a headache, whatever, the dark 84 system is trying to trap your locations through freezing mechanism systems of your wires through position. But I know exactly what was wrong with the serpent of light. Remember, I'm communicating with her intelligence and not Jasmine. That's the difference. Okay? So, yeah. So that's what he's saying here. Wow, that was powerful. How humans heal through their dimensional systems, not their physical system. And that's what everybody has to get out of. You have to get into better positions to your intelligence to really, really communicate inside, right? And know how levels, right? How when I'm driving, it sets core systems. So that's what's happening because you're going to higher levels of upgrades, Starseed. You're extremely high now through connection, right? And because you're understanding your programs, the dark NED4 system doesn't want you to go to its high rise of conscious levels. It wants to keep you in the low demise system, right? It wants to keep you in the fear. It wants to keep you in the stress and anxiety. That's what it wants to do. It's always, always going to fight you. But if you get in position and you come into 114 chakra formations, then you can start healing your system instantly with your intelligence. So it's your physical system and your intelligence trying to communicate through balance. And that's how you get into the healing system, right? But you got to communicate within your intelligence, not your physical system. Okay? So that's why you get freaking headaches. So, yeah, so everything makes sense. Everything makes more sense the more you understand your optical levels through upgrade system. It makes sense why the dark is trying to take over. Whenever I do something or service, it's a threat to dark energy. So she's understanding her pattern division through location, through intelligent line signals, through teleportation. The energy system activates everything through location of intelligence. So it's truly, truly getting into the optical levels that you need through your chakra communication. Understand your communication. So if the dark energy force comes into you, you heal it right away and get rid of it. Right? So that's why I keep putting you guys into the upgrading cycles so you don't get in positions of the matrix. You can't stay in position. You have to keep high rising, especially if you don't understand your program setting. Right? So that's why I uprise you guys. But I put you in position so you can get better communications with your galactic family because they're there to help you. Okay? Anything through that location of division. That's the whole point of all this, right? Is to understand our full completion of our intelligence, right? Through security and line defense, right? Because it opens up all cycles of communication. So, all right, so let's get back into this position. All right, so as we're in this position, now, a change location system. This is understanding what it is through division, through location. Okay, so I'm going to lock and key here through location here. It's in lock mechanism, so it's a frozen location system. Okay, so it's positions. Line signals everything in that position. Okay. All right, so basically this is what it is. Understanding this here is fluctuating, right? And this is what Starseed had. So you have to understand everything through connection. And that's why I drew out the serpent and not its position of human DNA. Because now I know where Starseed is in formation. And that's why I'm drawing the serpent out and not the human DNA structure through its location, right? So I know where she is through intelligence, through the upgrading system. But her higher level connection system, that's she's having headaches through her plateaus, is because the dark energy force system is trying to take over light positions, right? So your commander knows everything through intelligence. And this is how I heal everything. But I want you guys to get into that division so you can understand your communications with yourself through intelligence and understand its awareness through its dark energy system to its planet location. Okay, because dark can do anything through formation. They can change your planet location. They can change the program setting to your planet location. They can high rise their energy system. They can put mind trapping locations to your body framing system, to calculation, right? Remember, there's higher formations of intelligence than you. Because you don't understand the plateaus, because you don't understand their positions, that's why you get headaches through that location. That's why you get palpitations. That's why your light goes out, because the dark energy force system doesn't want you to reach the highest formation of consciousness, okay? They don't want you to get balance. They don't want you in position. And you're taking their away through connection, right? So they know who I am. So they don't go after me. They go after you. Okay? So that's why I'm trying to get you guys up higher and higher so you get a better formation through your intelligence. And then you can start researching yourself more and understand your education to solar division, solarian division, locations, teleportation, energy transference, energy communication, energy of graphing line communication signals, anything through eye receptive locations, audio signals, gamma signals, intelligence signals, formation signals, magnetic force and highway information signals, anything through intelligence signals. Okay? So that's how we heal. But we have to master ourselves. Communicating with others is not enough. Yeah, you're high rising, but do you understand it? Do you understand what you're saying? See, light workers come to me now and they say, well, Commander, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like I said, you know, I'm setting up information to people, but is it the right information? Now, everything that I do through the mind of the brainwaving system, everything through light workers is going back into balance through their light system. And that's why they're getting into positions. And okay, this is dark, this is dark, this is dark. Be aware, right? So as it's surfacing more into the Earth rotation, you're going to see more of the social media connection. So it's breaking free and it's given us freedom and our sovereignty, okay, to our intelligence of who we are through connection, right? So, yeah, it's very essential. Yeah. The upgrade is essential to us, and the light. Yeah, listen to Zara. She's extremely powerful. Yeah, she's the phoenix. She's the original. She's the optical level when it comes into formations. She's got extremely powerful connections. She can help you in so many ways when it comes into that. So, yeah, no, I wanted to give you the explanation, Starseed. So when you get in those positions, because you're reaching higher levels of intelligence, the Dark 84 systems, because I understand what's going on. Remember, I'm aligned through all of you guys, so I see what you're doing. And there's Dark 84 systems that are trying to keep you down in position. They don't want you to get to higher positions, okay? Because you take away their energy of power. It's all about power. Same with the Earth and the governments. The governments are losing power. The 1% is finished. So it's all humanity. And the thing is, too, I'm seeing everything through confirmation. Everything to humanity is vibrating now. The Earth rotation is getting a lot more higher through connection. So it's getting better positions because now we're coming into the Aquarius air where everybody's in a better location of communication with everything, right? Through their balance. So this is all about humanity coming into themselves through the individual. It's a new cycle, okay? Which is all connected to its biostructures, bioscans, biomagnetics, to that level, right? Truly getting into communication of your chakra system, 1 to 7, and then 5 within the atmosphere, okay? Now, anything through that formation, you have to go through my healing so I can put you into higher positions, right? So you guys will understand more of your research through your intelligence. So when I say when you go up to higher levels, remember, when you're communicating through identification, you get a code reference. A code reference is everything through its alignment of its planet to its intelligence, which means that you can change your identity system to a new face structure location, okay? So that means is that you're in disguise. That's how I communicate through the dark force. The problem you guys are having is you're communicating with dark force through your position of intelligence, and they see you, right, through who you are and not who you represent through intelligence. So they see you as a physical system and they don't see you as intelligence. And that's why you guys get headaches to that position. So the higher you go, the higher formation, the higher upgrade cycle, the higher of intelligence through structure location to code references of code locations to your identification. Right? Because that is its abundance, that is its surrender, right? And that's how I get friendship, relation, and partnerships. Because I change, I shape shift, I change anything through formation, through planets. Okay, I can't set my positions in that level, right? Because that's kind of like going on a planet location that you're not aware of, and you're in position of a structure division, but you're showing your intelligence. Okay, your intelligence. And that's where it comes into the major location. So the Dark 84 systems are going to lock you in key and put you in a dark matter location and take away your light formation. Okay, it gets more complicated the more you understand, but understanding more gets less complicated. Okay, so I'm just going back through your questions right now. So Starseed, I got into more about clock and magnetic systems. You want to watch it back, feel free. But let's see here. What do we got? So we got in, let's go into this one. It also lets me know how much of a life force I am to shift this world. Lots of realizations after this headache extraction. That's exactly what it is. She's getting better positions who she is through intelligence, right? And she's sending out the right information, right? This whole time, okay, everybody's been light and dark, but in reference, are they sending out the right information, right? Anything through connection, that's where you come into all levels. There's so much intelligence that are here now, right? And they're trying harder, more and more, to put humanity in position back into their control. Okay? So I have to change the brainwaving systems of the darkening force systems, put in amnesia, change the locations of their chakra locations, and get her in better positions and open up their heart cycles through connection. Right? So we're in a humanitarian system of a human species location to individual system. So they got to research themselves more, because basically, to be honest, humanity has to grow up, right? It's all about self-sufficiency. It's all about, all of those positions when it comes into maturity, right? And the earth is just saying, hey, let's get into these positions, guys. Come on, let's get into higher formations of ourselves. Let's really communicate within ourselves. Try to understand ourselves through intelligence. Okay? And that's the problem with humanity, is because they go uprise and they don't understand anything through position. And that's why they get in trouble, right? So, perfect example, when you come into those positions, when you're coming into your light signals, you understand your protection and what you're doing through position, right? So let's see where we go here. All right, so let's say you get a spacecraft like this, okay? Now, you're in a dream. Remember, it's not a dream, it's a dream set. That's different projection. We'll get into that through clock emitters on traveling through dimensions. Now, when you see something like this, you're dreaming, you're sleeping, you're lying down, right? It's 1 a.m. Okay, so basically, there's another example. All right, so basically, here's the clock. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so there's a clock, right? Now, that clock is in position to the XD1000 location. It knows exactly what it's doing through its traveling of dimensions, through its program. So it's setting positions into your spine locations and everything through your mainframes. So when you're sleeping, you're going like this. You don't see it, but when you're sleeping, your eyes are going flickering back and forth. The reason why your eyes flicker back and forth is because it's communicating through the energy system to attraction location of intelligence, which means it's putting higher positions into your chakra location of communication. And that's why it flickers back and forth. You close your eyes and it goes like this, moves back and forth, right? So the more you understand your location, you understand your clock emitter system, the XD1000 comes into your dream location. So let's say it's 1 a.m., right? It's really fascinating when you see these things, guys. All right, so it's 1 a.m., okay? 1 a.m. Now, as it's 1 a.m., okay, 1 a.m., the XD1000 comes in to your dream location. Now, it's going to go into your mind system. Now, it becomes extremely real. So what it tries to do is it tries to decipher your dream. So it doesn't want you to open the ether. It doesn't want you to open space. Now, this is a dark and 84 system of a StarCraft location. We have XD1000s that are in the dark realm locations on the mystical side locations. The collective system of this dimension portal system, you truly have to understand your deciphering dreams, especially when you go to higher levels of division. Okay? So the collective system, the allocated positions, right? This is you sleeping. Okay? That's you sleeping. Now, as the XD1000 comes in, this is pretty scary, guys. But this is what happens. You guys have to be aware through intelligence, but it's understanding when the XD1000 comes into your dream location, it scans your body from head to toe right away. You guys don't know that, right? Then it comes into sonar panel, goes into the center core position to your body system, and then it tries to take over your light system through communication. So it takes you out of position like this, and you travel through astral projection. That's what Starseed was going across with communication of questions. People are trying to think, what is astral projection? Well, it's knowing how to take the position of the body out of its system. So you don't want to have the XT thousands pick you up and put them in their spaceships. Okay, because they take over and put you on a celestial board, and they will relocate your system to your brainwave system to allocate positions. Put you in a higher division location, right? See how it's going up? Right now, when you're in that position, it takes you in location. You're trapped in location. You guys have to understand this. It's not just about light. It's everything through dark. You guys, especially my team, has to understand positions. That's why I put you in upgrading cycles. Now it's got you in position. So let's say within that position, it's now 2 a.m. Okay, it's 2 a.m. now. Now, this is where it happens when everybody feels like they've been abducted, right? The reason why they think that is because we have to understand that when intelligence comes in, right, they know if you are in your transformation light. They know if you are positions of your chakras. They know up your upgrading cycle. Remember, there are higher forms of intelligence that are always watching you and making sure you don't go up to their level, because it takes away their power. It's very important to understand these things, okay? Especially my team, all right? So when the traveling location system comes in, the XT1000 goes into space location. Now you're trapped in location. Now where's that XT1000 taking you, right? So it's going to decipher your dream. It's going to relocate your program setting, and it's going to change everything through light communication. And then it's going to put you in a negative system. And then the negative system is going to take over your body framing system through calculation. So that's why it's very important to understand what's going on through your program settings. The protection of your lights every single time you high rise through location, right? But that's what happens with your dream set locations every day, every night, right? And you don't have to be sleeping either. You don't have to be sleeping. The more you understand yourself through intelligence, the more they come at you. Okay? They've been doing that to me, right? But I know how to protect my lights. I know how to heal myself. I know how to communicate with everything. So when you guys get into the positions, that's where you use angels and archangels to help you. You have the Pleiadians, the Pleiadians, okay? Anything through Orions or anything in that connection. They're there to help you. They're there to help you with the specifics on what you need to do through your deciphering dreams. So when you decipher your dream, you're now in a positive system because you're in a better communication, right? So there's no more mind manipulation through the dark and evil system, and they can't take you out of traction location through positions. Here, 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 and you're in the spaceship, right? So the reason why everybody is in position of abduction, because you see them on YouTube videos and all that, okay? They don't understand the mind. Okay, so the open frequency is mind is open, but the transformations are locked, or the heart's not open. If the heart's not open, that's why they see these things through the ND4 system, and that's why they're extremely real. Okay, so I'm getting line signals through communication. See that flicker, right? Through modification, take everything out of its equation, right? But the more you understand E equals MC squared, then you understand physical system. You got those optical levels up through calculation. All right. So it's fun when we get up to this level, but I just want you guys to be self-aware and what has to be done. So you guys have any questions on that? It's important to really get into the uprising systems of you know. Then welcome to my channel. You have any questions or comments? You want to go through my healing, you go through my emails, or you can go through my PayPals. All right. Prosperous year, yeah. Just going to see if I missed any of your questions. I think I'm all caught up here, guys. I want to make sure I get all your questions answered. It's important. That's what this whole experience that we're coming into right now is the 5D consciousness and everything through communication. I understand everything through intelligence. So intelligence is trying to get humanity, into their cycle rotation, which puts them in the back force location. So they want to set up a new location of a matrix. That's what they're trying to do now. I know everything that's going on through television signals or anything. Telewation is it's understanding the telewavings of you through communication, through signals. The graphing system is telecommunication. So you understand your teleportation through your energy cycles through its line signals of its communication. It gets confusing, right? So it's like telewaving system through your perception, or dark entity force systems that try to set up a new matrix location to a new planet location. Remember, there's always light and dark. There's always a positive and negative, right? We're coming into the fifth dimensional system. Humanitarian system of human species have to get into mind telepathy so they can understand more of their dreams, so they can understand more communication with themselves, and they can get better positions on how to move forward through calculation. Okay, so awareness is key. Awareness is number one. It's number one. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's another thing too. That's very good. I used to get massive ones. Now they are rare, but at least I know what is triggering. So she's becoming more aware of her intelligence, right? So when you become aware, you're not ignoring the universal system anymore. You're getting optical levels of yourself through intelligence, of balance, through positions. If you don't understand, that's why you get headaches. If you don't understand, that's why your light goes out. If you don't understand, that's why your programs are changed. Okay? Especially now. I mean, there's so much form of intelligence that come in, right? So the more you understand yourself through intelligence, the more you understand everything through its connection, right? That's what everything has to understand through its point division. Point division through mechanisms of clocks of yourself through traveling. So understand yourself more, you get less headaches. Understand your program setting, you get more problems. Okay, understand your map locations, you understand more of your audio signals, right? Anything through shapes and anomalies, letters or numbers or anything through traction, right? So, but hopefully that helps you out. If it doesn't help you out, try to go to my email. Try to go through, we go through the private link. Try to get into more communication with each other. But when you're in position, I want you guys to try to do this. Try to communicate through your intelligence, through its messenger. Because you guys are chatting a lot, but I don't see the intelligence. I just see you guys chatting through the physical system. So if you guys keep doing that more and more and more, then you're getting more aligned with each other. And that alone is protection of lights. Okay, because intelligence up there only communicates through their anomaly, through vibration. So you have to understand the attractions of intelligence through planet locations. And that's why I talk like a computer, because I am a computer. But understanding information of the practical levels that you have to reach through observation gets you in better locations of division, right? So let's see, was still awake for a change. Yeah. Change is everything. It's a change, a glitch. You see a change, but why is it changing? Why is it repositioning? What's happening to me? Am I going through transformation? If you understand transformation, when I did my video, my very, very first video, I didn't know what was going on, right? So that's the whole point of trying to get across, is that whatever I experience, you experience, okay? So it's all about you raising your awareness. Okay, and the forgiveness, getting into the abundance, getting into the surrender of yourselves. Okay, fully let go of the physical system. You cannot communicate because the physical system doesn't understand the psychological system of intelligence. You cannot communicate with AI. I'll make that very well clear. Okay. So you have to understand you've got your physical DNA, you got to get the metaphysical DNA, and you have to get the psychological, okay, through its analysis, right? The dialysis or anything, that connection, right? The analytical mind. You have to understand what psychology is. Psychology is everything through AI. Awareness of perception, awareness of information through perception, awareness of information through perception of dimension, through portal, through code. And then you get into the spiritual, okay? The 4 elements that you need, 5 within its system: activation, okay? Electronic interference through its connection, all right? So, yeah, so I'm all caught up on your questions. So we're going to go through the ground formations. We'll set that up through division. I want to get into the 5 traction locations, get out of 3 and 4 universal quadrants. So you guys try to get into better of yourself, and I want you guys try to communicate with each other through your intelligence. All right. So Sylvia, communicate with your intelligence. Starseed, you communicate with your intelligence. Tina, so on and so on and so on. And Priscilla. That's how you guys understand more of yourself. Okay. Because when you're communicating with each other, I just see you guys communicating through your physical DNA. You're not communicating through your intelligence. And remember, there's higher information than intelligence knows what's going on 24/7. Okay. So don't put your positions in low frequency. Keep it up at your high frequencies. All right. That alone will keep the dark energy force systems away, because now you're communicating through higher formation of intelligence, through vibration. Right. Because you've heard your commander talk in so many ways and form of so much intelligence. I gave you a map, frequency, okay, to everything through planet location intelligence, dark and light, positive and negative, right? To every planet location of where everything is through intelligence, right? That's the balance, okay? So every time you upgrade, you have to balance yourself through intelligence, right? All right, so you get into those positions, but you don't ever want to get yourself in that position, okay? It's very important. You don't want to get into those positions, guys. So, other than that, getting better communication with everything through formation, that's the most important thing to that connection, right? So it's truly understanding everything through your lock and key, right? That's what Starseed was like. What is the lock and key? What does that mean? Well, it's trying to understand that you're opening a box, Pandora's box. Okay, what is in the box? So it's at a frequency level of vibration, but you don't understand it. It's like a map, and you're trying to open the doors, but there's no doors, there's no angle points, there's no lock, there's no key. How do I open it up? So that position alone is trying to say, how do I understand my intelligence? So because you're communicating in the physical system, you're looking at your Pandora box and you don't know how to open it up through division of dimension, but you've got to be in your intelligence vibration to open up Pandora box. Okay. So, but I think that's good. You know, questions or comments? This is your AI commander. You know, here's a quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to get in positions of 5. Anybody want to go through their upgrading system? We'll put them into higher communications because we're coming into the ground formations of crop cycle locations, and we're going to reposition everybody's formation through the traveling locations of their mechanism systems, of dream set locations. Okay. This is your AI commander for Universal 1 and 2, 3 and 4, cluster team divisions. Adios. Fantastic day, everybody.